Who doesn't like a good tool wall video? What I'm thinking is putting a tool wall on the back of this bench, and that'll get my tools out from underneath of this workbench and make them more convenient on the wall and kind of open up some free space in this tiny little shop. So I've got some 1/2-inch plywood that I'm going to make the wall out of, and the first thing to do is to cut that to the same width as the bench. And to do that, I've got this cross-cut sled, but the pieces are obviously too big to cut on the table, so I'm going to have to do that on the floor. Okay, screw that. I'm just going to cut it with a handsaw. I want to actually set the wall on the bench. That way I don't have to punch holes in these gorgeous green walls, and I can just carry all of the weight on the table. So I'm putting these 2x2s on the bottom for the plywood to rest on. The next thing I'm going to do is add these vertical 1x4s, and that's going to help me splice in the other sheet of plywood on top of this one, and it's overall going to add rigidity to the otherwise pretty floppy 1/2-inch plywood, and also keep it away from the wall a little bit. That way when I drive screws in through here, there's some space behind. That way I don't hit the walls with anything that I hang on here. After I attached the tool wall, I gave it a quick sand and also 2 coats of water-based polyurethane just to keep it nice and smooth and make it easy to clean. So with that done, now it's time for the fun part, tool holders. I thought it made sense to start with the drill press tool since it's right here. So I've got a set of Forstner bits, and for that it's just a simple shelf with all the holes drilled in it. And I even counterbored a little bit underneath each one of the bits so that they sit nice on the shelf. And then for drill bit storage, I just got my index here and I made a small little shelf for that. And I put the countersink bits and a stepped bit over here, and I even left room for the one that I'm missing because it's got to be here in the shop somewhere. I don't like it. I'm gonna remake it. These driver bit storages are nice to keep you organized, but it's not very convenient because it's always closed and off to the side, so I never know what's in there and I can't see anything, so I don't use it very much. So to put it on the tool wall, I just got this board with a bunch of holes drilled in it, and that way I can stack all these up on here and make them more convenient. And I've got a whole bunch more than I probably need to display on the wall. And who doesn't have a whole bunch of these extra ones that come with your pack of screws? So I think I'm going to make a drawer that will go underneath of this, and that way I can store the extra bits and drill bits and extra stuff all down below underneath. This thing's solid. This is probably my favorite one so far. I didn't put a face on the drawer because I like how the box joints look. The square holder I ended up making out of one piece because I thought it looked a little bit better. And I like the saw one. I think that one came out pretty good. I should make more like that. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. There's obviously a lot of tool holders left to make, but that'll just have to wait for future videos.